I've talked about that on almost every podcast, is that I don't believe in regret at all. Because it's exactly the way it was supposed to be. And telling that business story, I'm so grateful for everything I went through, because I have things that money can't buy. I have appreciation and perspective. And for sure, you don't get that until you've been at the bottom and then worked your way back. And I'm so appreciative. I mean, it's funny. I was listening to a guy online, and he's super competitive. And he was like, one of the things I do is I look at my bank account every morning, and I'm like, I do that now. I did 10 years ago. Like, I didn't want to see it, but I just do it. And it just brings me joy. It's like, and to see it grow and all that. Hey,
one thing I forgot to tell you before we started is almost every time one of my sons walks in. But
I love it.
What's the matter, buddy?
You don't look happy.
You don't feel well? No? Yeah. Well, did you check your temperature? Yeah. What did it say?
This year it's 90.8. This year it's 99.0. Why
don't you go lay down for a little bit then? It's probably from all that jumping you just did on the trampoline all over the place. Yeah, go lay down a little bit, get some rest. Can you say hi to Mr. Rami first?
Hello. What's your name?
Oh, let me put a headphone in.
What's your name?
Adam.
Hey, Adam. Are you the one that rode a dirt bike?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that smile. All of a sudden, he's happy.
He is a fan, yeah. He feels better all of a sudden, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, wait, ride dirt bikes?
There you go. He used to ride dirt bikes a lot.
Yeah. I wish I could pull up a picture. I used to race him, go all those big jumps and break bones and all that kind of fun stuff.
He's in the process of learning how to do wheelies.
Wheelies are the best. You are not getting
throwing my headphone on the
You
floor.
are not getting that headphone back, Adam.
Yeah, if I do get it back, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Jeez, buddy.
It's going to have earwax all over it. Ew.
Yeah. The earwax and dirt from the floor. Lovely. Yeah. There it goes again.
Oh my gosh. That's
Go
awesome.
lay down and get some rest. Give me my headphone and go get some rest.
Every time I smile.
Love you, buddy.
Wow. How old is he?
He's 8.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
yeah.
He's loving trying to get the wheelies in. So he loves to show it. Anytime we have somebody new over, he's like, all right, Dad, can I ride the dirt bike? Go ahead, bud. So go in the backyard and make it happen.
What size? And we're going to digress here, but we have to. What size is it?
Perfect.
The dirt bike?
So it's only a 50 right now, but it's too small for him. I need to get him. So I'm looking at a CRF 110 to have him jump on and give the 50 to his little brother.
Love it.
So that's
I finally got back on after years, and I took my son and his friend to there's a 1,000-acre place. In fact, we're going to ride there in the Go Abundance event. That's one of the events.
Of course you are.
Is dirt bikes. I know.
I can't go.
Yeah, and you can't go. I cannot believe it's dirt bikes. And I took my son in 2019, and we rented. I think I got a 450, and he got 250s. Oh my God, what a difference. I hadn't been on a dirt bike since they switched to 4-stroke, right? So it's such a different world. Yeah,
a 450 4-stroke is like such a smooth ride.
Oh my God.
Nuts.
Well, we call it cheating. Like compared to a 2-stroke, it's cheating. Like you can make major mistakes and still clear all the jumps.
Yeah.
You couldn't do that on a 2-stroke. That's why I got hurt so much, right?
Yeah.
You miss a gear, you miss the power band, and you're done. And so that was super fun. And but I watched those 50s at the halftime at the Supercross races. The kids ride those KTM 50s.
It's fun to watch.
They have more travel than my 250 had when I was racing. Anyway, we digress. You got me talking about motorcycles. I could make this whole podcast.
Hey, that's quite all right. I love riding motorcycles. That's my wife rides motorcycle. We just recently had our daughter. She's now 3 months old, right?
I know.
And
congrats.
Thank you. We tell people all the time, like, I don't know what we're going to do if we have a girl that wants to be like a princess, because like my wife rides motorcycles and shoots guns. So
that's awesome.
If we end up with a girl that's like, I really want to, have a tea party and wear my tutu, where I hopefully you can wear a tutu right at a dirt bike, because I had one.
I had a girly girl who was dolls, and she would literally wear her princess outfit to school. We had to like make her take it off, and now she's almost professional dancer. Like that's her world now, and so that's what she's going to college for. Like she's totally into it. I learned a lot about dance. They are major athletes. So
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so
I don't even remember where we were now.
I don't know, something about my dad and the difference in the dichotomy of her mom being the tough one, the dad being
so soft me. When you were growing up, were they like pressuring you at all on the academic side? I mean, I know you said you like to do outside stuff in the sports, but I would imagine with parents like that, they were probably pretty strong about like school ethic and that.
Interestingly enough, looking back on it, like I know they were disappointed, right? Because they knew I was smart and I knew I could do better. And Adam, I never did homework ever, like never, right? I actually failed trigonometry. It's the only class I've ever failed in my life, a mathematics class, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sure they were, but I'm just telling you, man, they were so freaking busy. I mean, they were probably both working 70 to 80 hours a week. They didn't have time for it. They didn't have time for it, right? Like by the time they got home and they didn't have much of a relationship, like they didn't go out or they didn't socialize together. They would have academic conversations. I remember parties being so boring, all the IBM people, because they were just talking this high level stuff. And I think you and I have talked about this, and that's where I cut my teeth on back then. People being unbelievably, I mean, my father was a Muslim from Palestine, and he had full on Jewish friends that they disagreed on everything and they were best friends. And that's what I thought was normal. It ain't anymore.
Yeah, no joke.
I remember they would have these unbelievable, it sounded like an argument. And at the end of the night, they would come to they'd find a place they were both like agreeing on, and they would hug and the night be over and they're best friends. I never saw them like that. And I'm like, that's possible. And I still tried that till about 5 years ago. I don't try it anymore. But anyway, so yeah, they did not pressure me as much. They definitely, the minute I said I was going to college, they were all in, right? So they were very supportive. My mom was super organized. I got to throw in here too. They were both hoarders. So if you've seen the show Hoarders, that's how I grew up. 100%. Like if I was like, if it was now and it was my kids, defects would take them away. That's how bad it was. And another weird thing, like it was hard to have friends over and all that kind of stuff. Another reason why I'm OCD clean. Right. Yeah. So like I'm literally like I get upset if I haven't shaved in a day. You know what I mean? Like it's so.
My background probably drives you nuts. Though.
Oh my god!
Not organized.
Look at mine. There's
like,
just a light. No, I like it. It's very organized. If it was like papers all over the place, I'd literally come to your house and clean it up.
Oh yeah. So that's why the camera's not pointing out at the desk. It's pointing back there. Yeah. See. Yeah.
Well, that's what they were academics, right? And that's how they lived. Piles of papers and chalkboards and all that. And so I don't know how I got off on that, but that's an important part of growing up and kind of this, for lack of a better word, it was just weird. Like weird, not in a good way, like weird that was separating me from other people. I had some close friends, but nothing like I have now. And so for me, college was absolutely a time to reinvent myself.
Yeah.
Right. I really disconnected from my parents and just became this whole new person. Like I didn't date anybody in high school, and my wife laughed. She's like, "You didn't really date anybody in college either." And I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'm not the word for it." Yeah, fair enough. It was the 80s, But I exploded into my personality. You know me. I'm a gregarious guy. I'm fun. I'm extroverted. Well, I think I'm fun. I think I'm funny. But that person was he wasn't around until I left home. And it makes total sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm not going to try to diagnose anything, but given the fact that how intelligent your parents were and the hoarding and all that type of stuff, do you think there was like some Asperger's type of thing going on there too? Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like it would be.
Yep.
Like just where their brains were and how they were.
And crazy because like I wish I could pull up a picture, but if you saw it, and my mom would say, "Oh, I need that bank statement from 7 months ago." And she'd go, "It's over there on the right underneath." Like she knew exactly where it was.
Jeez.
Yeah. And that brain power. I'm like, oh my God, if you cleaned all this up, you'd both be like running the freaking Oppenheimer project. Like, it was amazing and scary at the same time. And it's funny because when friends knew me in college, I had like the neatest dorm room of anybody. I was always cleaning my room, always keeping it clean. And then I would bring friends to see my parents' house and they're like, "What? Like this is your parents' house?" So, it's funny to dredge this stuff up. My wife calls it child abuse. I say it made me tough, but we can look at two things and
tomato, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Made me stronger.
And it's hard to even, when you're going through it, who knows what you're not learning it until later and all this stuff. Like you just don't have a clue. This is what's normal. Like, and you don't know that it's not normal necessarily. Right. I've been all over the world. So
yeah, you've seen everything. And you've probably been in the Middle East too. And you see how they
very much
world.
So,
and it's completely, like we think we have it hard here with racism. I'm like, you have no idea.
Well,
go to the Middle East for a little while. Let's not go down that road.
Yeah, but it baffles my mind the way that people think about this country, and it's one of those like if the things that we complain about oftentimes tell us exactly how good we have it. right?
I
Like
couldn't agree more.
if we're going to complain about some things, like if this is what you have to complain about, you clearly have it very well.
Yeah.
But, we're going to just pull this, pull that, I mean, there were times literally like driving around the mountains of Afghanistan, right? And you'd see people come out of a cave. That's their house. They're just living in a cave. That's where they're at. That's all they know. That's what goes on. And right down the street, right down the dirt road on the other side of that little mountain is, a bunch of Taliban folks who run the whole area and all this stuff. And like, they're just, you wonder if they've ever even seen, I mean, I know they have, right? Because we've been in the country. I mean, I went to Afghanistan 07, 08. So I mean, we'd already been there for 6 years. So and the Russia war before us. So I knew very well that they had seen vehicles. But you drive through and you're like, I wonder if they've ever really seen a vehicle. Like they just come out of a cave and this is where they live. And you're like, man, oh man,
no idea.
But they don't know any different, right? They're just like, oh no, this is life,